A lot of people are pushing agendas and using Charlie Kirk's murder to do so. So what is the understanding of the people who knew him best? Not just about who's responsible, but what is responsible and what Turning Point USA will do with all of this flush of enthusiasm for it that has happened since the assassination. Andrew Colvin is the executive producer of The Charlie Kirk Show. He's now helping anchor it because, obviously, Charlie's no longer with us. He's also a spokesperson for TPUSA, Turning Point. And I wanted Andrew to come in and kind of help us understand what is real and what isn't. Thank you for joining me. And again, I'm sorry for what you guys are dealing with.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show, Chris. And yeah, I mean, it's a tragedy, and we're navigating it as best we can. And you know, you mentioned this flush of enthusiasm, and I think, you know, that gives us a lot of solace in this time because we have things to put our hands to. We have work that's really important to do, and I'm so proud of the team. I just will say that, I mean, from top to bottom, the organization, from the field team to the productions, to what we do at the Charlie Kirk Show, people have thrown their whole selves behind it, and I'm really proud of the whole team.
Give me some sense of how much outreach there has been since Charlie's murder in terms of wanting to grow Turning Point, join Turning Point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been breathtaking, I think is a fair word to use. I mean, I actually have some numbers here that I got just before coming on with you. So we have, since 9/10, we've had about 130,000 inquiries to start either a college chapter or a high school chapter. And chapters that we have already officially started. Now remember, we had about 900 college chapters and 1,200 high school chapters before all of this. We have added just about 790 new college chapters, and we have added 1,819 new high school chapters. So we've essentially doubled.
So you doubled.
Yeah, we doubled in size in less than a month. All right, in less than a month. And these numbers are growing every single day. I'll have to update them in another couple of days because they'll be significantly higher. We have over 800,000 students in our student network that are engaged or involved in one way or another. So that number was probably around 450,000, 500,000 before this happened. So we've essentially doubled that as well. It's so the response, the enthusiasm has been overwhelming, breathtaking, and it just keeps growing every day, Chris. And you see this. We just did an event with Vivek Ramaswamy at Montana State, and that was a sold-out, packed arena. And they're chanting Charlie's name. They're fired up. They just absolutely line out the door. We couldn't fit everybody in, and we're trying our best to get bigger and bigger venues. And it's heartening. It's heartening because, as you said, people will take this and they'll take it the way they want to. But I know that Charlie would have been absolutely adamant that we get every last ounce of energy out of this, that we were able to bring as many people into the movement, into Turning Point USA as possible. And I think the team is being faithful to that mission. They're honoring his legacy. And like I said, I'm extraordinarily proud of the heroic work that they have done under incredibly difficult circumstances.
Now, there's a lot of distraction because people are seeing opportunity in his assassination. And I wanted to know, as someone who was close with Charlie and obviously close to the investigation, what's happening, do you believe that the authorities have who is responsible for Charlie Kirk's assassination, or do you think it was Israel?
No, I don't think that it was Israel. I think they have the guy that did this. It doesn't mean that I don't have open questions about were there other people involved? Were there other people that knew beforehand? There seems to be indication that there was people that knew something was going to happen. And, you know, there's questions about this Salt Lake City armed queer group and their connections and who maybe financed them. And that's stuff that I am really keen to get to the bottom of, and I know that everybody that's closest to Charlie and closest to Turning Point USA has those same questions. But what I can tell you is that there is a team that's working on it and coordinating with the authorities, and it's an active investigation. We're going to let that play out. We think that's the reasonable thing to do, the responsible thing to do. And sometimes we're not able to speak into different aspects of the case because it's an ongoing investigation. We don't necessarily want to negatively impact that. And so sometimes in that silence, other voices come in. And I'm just here to say that, you know, the communication has been robust with authorities, both federal, state, and local. And we've got a great team that's coordinating and collaborating and working with them. And yeah, we feel like they've got an amazing case, and we're just going to sit and let the process run its course. But just because we are maybe silent, I just want to reiterate, does not mean that we are complacent, does not mean that we are not active behind the scenes. A lot of times with this stuff, you're calm on the top and your legs are going like a million miles a minute. And I think that's a good picture for what's really happening here.
In one way, it's not as much for you about who as it is about what was motivating Charlie Kirk's assassination and how to heal that with Turning Point. How does that focus the mission going forward, if you can give me a quick take on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to say it. The who, I think, you know, is going to play itself out here. The what, we know what the what is. It was somebody that, or some people potentially, that didn't believe in dialogue, that didn't believe in open debate, that had given up on that. They picked up a gun instead of what Charlie did, which was pick up a microphone. And that is not an America that I want to live in. That is not a country I want to live in. And that's not a country that Charlie believed in or that our founders believed in. And so we want to restore open debate, open dialogue. That's why we keep the tours going. That's why we keep the massive conventions and conferences going. That's why we're moving forward. And we're going to make sure that we honor Charlie's legacy the right way, because I know that he would not want his death to result in our movement, our coalition divided, or Turning Point somehow getting distracted. We're going to stay focused and keep the main thing the main thing. And like I said, the team is doing that heroically right now, and we will continue to do that.
Well, Andrew, I think you guys have a big place in the conversation. That's why I'm happy you want to come to the town hall. It'll be good to see you there, and you're always welcome here to make the case, because conversation has to be part of the cure. And I love that line.
Thank you.
Don't pick up a gun, pick up a microphone. Andrew, I'll see you soon. And I appreciate you coming on tonight. Please send my best to Erica and the kids. I am sorry for their loss.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.